Have you noticed how many young people who grew up in the church are starting to step back or at least wrestle with big questions around their faith? Well, some stats say that up to 2/3 of them stop going to church for at least a year between the ages of 18 and 22. And one of the biggest and most unseen battlegrounds of their beliefs, well, it's happening right here on the internet. Welcome to Truth Walk. This channel is all about walking out your faith in the real world with wisdom, courage, and honesty. I share biblical encouragement, real stories, and practical insight to help Christians navigate their Christian walk through everyday life, whether you've been in church your whole life or you're just exploring faith again. Well, I'm so glad that you are here. Today we're diving into something that, well, I believe is deeply urgent. And that is how the digital world is shaping and sometimes shaking the faith of the next generation. The internet is brilliant in so many ways. It connects us, it gives us access to learning and creates community. But let's be honest, it's also a place full of conflicting messages, half-truths, and convincing lies that can leave anyone feeling overwhelmed. And for many young people, it's not just random confusion. It's starting to influence how they view everything, including God, the Bible, and the church. If you're a young person today, you're constantly surrounded by voices. One minute you're watching a sermon clip on TikTok, the next you're fed a video debunking everything you know or heard, with flair and even sarcasm. The content just never stops. And the hard part, some of it sounds pretty convincing. Well, from AI-generated sermons to deepfakes and cleverly edited videos, it's harder than ever to tell what's real. And it's said that 40% of teens say that they've been fooled by fake online content. And once that trust is broken, it often spills over into everything else, even in their faith. Christian apologist Josh McDowell pointed out years ago that the internet exposes young believers to secular and atheist arguments way too early and way more often than previous generations. But these aren't carefully worded theological debates. They're bite-sized, emotionally charged jabs designed to provoke doubt, often delivered by people who seem cool, well, relatable, and very persuasive. But without guidance, these doubts take root too fast. It's then no surprise that young people are becoming more and more skeptical. They are learning not to trust what they see online, and well, rightly so. But here's where it gets tricky. The same skepticism is starting to stretch beyond the screen. If you're constantly questioning influences, news sources, and algorithms, it's not a huge leap to start questioning pastors, church leaders, and even the Bible itself. And when the internet makes every voice sound just as authoritative, whether it's a respected theologian or a TikToker with zero training, it becomes easy to dismiss traditional teachings as, well, just another opinion. But worse, when young people spot hypocrisy in church leaders and it goes viral online, the damage runs deep. And, well, I don't blame them. They're asking good questions, but without a solid foundation, they don't always know where to take those questions. So what happens when all this starts hitting home? Well, a lot of young people begin to reshape their beliefs based on what they see and hear online. And often it's not coming from a Bible study, it's from influencers, ex-Christians, or people deconstructing their faith in real time in front of an audience. Now, deconstruction isn't always bad, and sometimes it is necessary. Sometimes it leads to a stronger, deeper, more honest walk with God. That's true. But without community, without guidance, and without truth, people don't always rebuild what they tear down, and they just walk away. Many start to build what I call a buffer style faith, picking a bit from here and a quote from there, adding a sprinkle of spirituality, but leaving behind the heart of the gospel. Social media makes this even easier. It's designed to feed us content that aligns with what we already think, not to challenge it. And slowly the exclusive claims of Christianity, the authority of Scripture, and the importance of church begins to look, well, unnecessary and even offensive. Now, let me be clear. Asking questions isn't wrong. In fact, I'd say it's healthy. God is not afraid of your questions. In fact, real faith often grows through wrestling. Discernment is a gift, but there is a difference between healthy skepticism and just shutting down completely. The danger comes when cynicism creeps in, and well, that's the belief that nothing can be trusted, no truth can be known, and everyone has an agenda. That mindset can lead to spiritual paralysis. Now, social media algorithms don't help. They keep feeding people more of what they already believe, reinforcing doubts and pushing them further from anything that might challenge their thinking. And over time, the capacity to think, to reflect, to pray, to study theology, it all starts to fade. So now, instead of faith being refined, it's dismissed as, well, outdated. Instead of asking, could this be true? Many are now saying it's all fake. And that is a heartbreaking shift. So what can we do about it? First, for any young person watching this, your doubts don't disqualify you. God isn't scared of your questions, and neither am I. Don't just tear things down. Go searching. Dig deeper, ask hard questions, but ask them in the right places. Talk to people who love Jesus and love you enough to give you real answers. You're not alone in this. And to the church, pastors, leaders, parents, we need to create spaces where it's safe to wrestle. We must welcome questions and not shut them down. And we also need to teach media literacy. Let's help young people know how to filter what they're consuming and recognize what is shaping their thinking. If we're not discipling them in truth, someone else is discipling them in something else. And parents, please hear this. Your kids are hearing hundreds of voices every day, most of which you'll never even know about. Don't assume Sunday school is enough. Talk to your teens. Ask what they're seeing online. Be a safe place for the doubts and show them what a deep, resilient faith looks like. So let's talk about it. If you experience this tension between faith and the digital world, whether as a young person, a parent, a mentor, why don't you leave a comment below? Let's make this a space for honest, helpful conversation. And if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you don't miss what's coming next. The internet is not going away. It's part of our lives now, and for the next generation, it's where a lot of their worldview is being shaped. But we don't have to panic. We need to prepare. Help them build a faith that isn't afraid of questions, a faith that can stand in the fire and come out refined. Let's not run from the digital age. Let's rather raise up believers who can stand strong in it. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. God bless you, and goodbye.